Welcome back, everyone. Today we are going to be doing a deep dive into something pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Um, you know, we always talk about the miracle of pregnancy and childbirth and everything,
Right.
but we don't always give enough credit to the father's role in all of this.
Absolutely.
I mean, obviously we know dads contribute DNA, but
Yeah.
it's so much more than that. And today we're going to be looking specifically at
Yeah.
one very special temporary organ, the placenta,
Right.
and how a dad's DNA is actually like the architect of this whole thing.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah.
So,
Yes.
so we've got some fascinating research here that we're going to be diving into.
Right.
And it gets,
Yeah.
pretty complex with the biology.
Yeah.
But we're going to break it down in a way that hopefully everyone can understand.
Exactly. We'll make it simple and fun and interesting.
Yeah. So let's start in the very beginning.
Okay.
Conception. The classic sperm meets egg.
Mm-hmm.
And a new life begins.
Yes.
But what's really cool is that from that very moment,
Right.
like dad's DNA is already
Right. Right.
kind of taking charge in a certain way.
It's got a job to do
Right.
from the get-go.
Um,
Yeah. So,
So both parents' DNA obviously are needed,
right.
right, to create a human being.
Of course.
But the father's genes play a specific,
Yes.
like you said, kind of architectural role.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Um,
Right from that first step.
And so one of the first things that happens is that the dad's DNA is actually responsible for
Oh,
the formation of this thing called
it is.
the trophoblast layer.
Yeah. So a trophoblast.
Been fun work.
Sure.
Yeah.
But for
Yeah.
people who don't know,
Right.
can you break down like what that is?
Of course. So the trophoblast is it's the outer layer of cells
Okay.
that forms around the developing embryo.
Okay.
And it's crucial because it's what allows
What?
the fertilized egg to implant
Okay.
into the uterine wall.
So it's like
It's like the anchor.
The anchor.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's securing the baby's home.
I like that.
Like
Yeah.
you were saying, the architect, it's building that foundation.
Yeah.
And what's even cooler is that within the trophoblast, there are all these different types of cells
Right.
that have specialized jobs.
Oh.
Some of them invade the uterine lining.
Yeah.
They establish the blood supply. Others form a protective barrier. It's a very complex,
This is a
coordinated process.
whole little city.
It is like
It's
a
very-
little construction site
Yeah.
with everybody working together,
Exactly.
orchestrated in part by dad's DNA.
That is so cool. Okay,
Huh.
so that's the trophoblast layer
Uh-huh.
that's forming.
Yeah,
And from that, then the placenta develops, right?
exactly. The
Yeah.
placenta kind of grows out of that trophoblast layer.
Okay.
And
So, becomes
Hitcher.
this,
I always thought of the placenta as
Yeah.
being like just kind of a passive barrier.
kind of a passive barrier
Yeah.
between mom and baby.
Just a wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's way more than that.
It sounds like it's so much more than that.
Yeah, the placenta is a really dynamic,
Yeah.
like I said, active organ that's constantly working to support the baby.
Okay.
It's responsible for transferring
Okay.
oxygen and nutrients
Right.
from the mother's blood
To the fetus.
to the fetus.
Okay.
And it's not just passing things along passively.
Yeah.
It's actively regulating what gets through.
Wow.
It's acting like a really sophisticated filter.
So it's making decisions.
It is making decisions.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
About what the baby needs.
Yeah. So like the baby needs a certain
Yeah.
kind of environment to grow.
Exactly.
And the placenta's.
It has to be carefully controlled.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And what about
That environment.
waste products?
Yes.
Where does
That's the
that-
other thing. Placenta takes care of that too. It does.
It transports waste products
Okay.
from the fetal blood
Right.
back into the mother's system to be eliminated.
Wow. So it's like
It's a two-way street.
the ultimate
Life support system.
to maintain the perfect balance for the baby.
Wow. Okay. So
Yeah.
we've got food, we've got oxygen, we've got
Exactly.
waste removal.
Yep.
But it's also acting as like an immune system.
Yes.
Right.
This is one of the most amazing things about the placenta.
Yeah, because I was going to say,
Yeah.
the baby's DNA,
Yeah.
half of it is
Half of it's from the father,
from the father.
which is foreign to the mother's body.
Right. So how does the
Wow.
mother's body not reject?
That's a great question.
Come
Right.
on.
So the placenta, it doesn't just act as a physical barrier.
Right.
It actively modulates the mother's immune response.
Wow.
So there are specific cells
Okay.
within the placenta that release these signaling molecules
Okay.
that basically tell the mother's immune system,
Yeah.
like, hey,
calm down.
chill out. This is okay.
Yeah.
You know,
Don't attack.
we need this.
Wow.
So it creates this state of tolerance.
So it's like an immune system
Yeah.
keeper.
It's like a bodyguard.
That's
It's
amazing.
negotiating piece.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. It's really remarkable.
So this placenta is working hard
It is.
for 9 months
It's a busy organ.
in all of this.
And then what happens
This stuff.
after the baby's born?
So after the baby is born,
What happens
the
next?
placenta's job is done.
This poor placenta.
Yeah.
That's been working so hard.
It's like, okay, I did my job.
Right.
I'm out of here. So it detaches from the uterine wall
Okay.
and is expelled from the mother's body.
And that's what we call the
That's what we call the afterbirth.
afterbirth. Okay.
Okay.
So really it's like the
Yeah, it's the curtain call.
curtain
Yeah.
cloth. You're done.
But wow, what an amazing.
It is a temporary organ.
Yeah.
And to think that
Except
Jazz
for this
DNA
DNA was so crucial
is like, essentially responsible.
in building that organ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
It is really cool. Yeah.
Well, this has been
It really highlights, like you said,
exciting.
the interplay between genetics and development
Yeah.
and the essential roles that both parents play
Right.
in creating a new life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So for everyone listening out there,
Yeah.
we've just kind of scratched the surface here with this placenta talk.
This is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah. But hopefully,
Yeah.
this has kind of sparked your interest.
Exactly.
Maybe think
So
about
what are some
things
we can do
If this word wrong. The development and function of the placenta.
Yeah.
Talk to your partners.
Absolutely.
Talk to your healthcare providers.
Yeah.
And yeah, dads.
This is just the beginning.
Like I said, this is just the
humans.
beginning.
Yeah.
Diaper duty's coming up next.
Exactly.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
This was fun.
This was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see you next time.
See you later.